Nicole here with Job Hunt Solutions, and in today's video we're going to look at embellishing on your resume and in a job interview. Over the last few years, it seems like there's more and more job seekers who have had to change jobs more frequently than in years gone by. For the most part, this has had to do with a lot of companies downsizing and people just needing to change jobs. As a result, a lot of job seekers feel the need to maybe fudge the dates on their resumes to close up some of the employment gaps they may find themselves having, or embellishing on some of their experience to try to elevate their profile in an attempt to find their next role. This will tend to follow through into the job interview as well. Now, as I've said in the past, honesty is always the best policy. And there are ways to be able to maybe frame either your interview answers or elements of your resume to really highlight some of the great experience that you have while keeping your integrity intact. One important thing to keep in mind when it comes to your resume, employment gaps, and especially when it comes to organizational downsizing, most employers are completely aware of this occurrence happening, and that really matters very little. But what does matter to an employer is whether or not you're going to be honest. It's really very easy for an employer to uncover through background checks or references, verifying certain things like dates of employment. So by exaggerating maybe some of those dates, that could really put you in a bad light. In terms of some of your experience, there's a couple of examples that I'd like to give. So one of them is with regard to, say, your level of experience or your job level. In some cases, people may show that they are, for example, say a customer service manager, when in fact they're a customer service team lead. This may sound like semantics, however, it can be an indication of a very different level for different organizations. So it's, again, always best to be honest about this. However, if you find yourself tempted to maybe change your job title to make it sound at a higher level than what you actually were at, consider framing that element of your resume to really highlight some of your accomplishments. So as an example, if you are a team lead in a customer service setting, you can say under your accomplishments that you were promoted to team lead in 6 months. You can include a little bit more context there in saying something or other like, this is 50% shorter than most other team lead promotions. In the interview, it can get really, really tricky, especially if you're talking about certain skills, hard skills. Again, to use an example, let's look at a particular software experience. So you may be asked in an interview if you have experience with, say, System A, whatever that may be. If you don't have experience with that particular system, you're better off being honest and open about that. If you do say that you have experience with that particular system, you may end up painting yourself in the corner in the interview itself, especially if the interviewer decides to ask some follow-up questions to really test your knowledge. A great way around this particular question when it comes to hard skills is to be honest and say, no, I don't have experience with System A. However, I am a quick learner, and that can be demonstrated by my ability to pick up System B at my last employer and System C in another previous employer. You can then follow up by saying that you not only were able to learn these systems in short order, but you also mastered those systems and became a super user. Again, this is really highlighting a transferable skill, your ability to learn new systems or learn new programs or processes. And again, it keeps your integrity intact. Now, as a final thought, as I've said before, honesty is always the best policy. And of course, there's always Murphy's Law. The one thing that you choose to embellish on your resume or in a job interview might be that one thing that is really thoroughly checked by the employer. If they do decide to check that one thing that you decided to embellish and determine that you have embellished or feel that you've lied, that will put you in really poor light and would likely result in a negative hiring decision. I hope you found this video helpful. If you liked this video, of course, please press like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any other tips on embellishing in an interview, or how to get around embellishing in an interview or on your resume, please do feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you have any questions, video ideas, or would like to collaborate, I'd love to hear from you. You can reach me on email, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever works for you. And of course, for personalized advice, come on over to my website. I'd be happy to help. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, happy hunting!